Are you considering an Ausbildung in Germany and wondering about the costs involved? In this video, we'll break down the expenses you can expect during your vocational training and how you can manage them effectively. Let's dive into the details. Tuition costs. One of the most attractive aspects of the Ausbildung system in Germany is that it typically doesn't involve tuition fees. The vocational schools, Berufsschulen, that you attend as part of your training are usually funded by the state, meaning you won't have to pay for your education. This makes Ausbildung a cost-effective option for gaining professional skills. Training salary. During your Ausbildung, you'll receive a monthly training salary, Ausbildungsvergütung, from the company where you're doing your practical training. This salary varies depending on the industry, region, and the year of training you're in. On average, you can expect to earn between €600 and €1,200 per month. This salary is meant to cover your living expenses, including rent, food, and transportation. 3. Living expenses. Your living expenses during Ausbildung will depend on your location and lifestyle. In larger cities like Munich or Frankfurt, rent and other costs are higher than in smaller towns or rural areas. Here's a rough estimate of monthly living expenses. Rent, €300, €700, depending on the location and type of accommodation. Food, €150 to €300. Transportation, €50, €100, depending on whether you use public transport or own a vehicle. Health insurance, €90 to €200, if not covered by the company. Miscellaneous, €100 to €200 for personal expenses, entertainment, etc. Your training salary is designed to help you cover these costs, but you might need to budget carefully, especially in higher cost areas. 4. Health insurance. Health insurance is mandatory in Germany. If you're under 23 and not earning more than a certain threshold, you might be eligible for family insurance, which is usually free. Otherwise, you'll need to pay for your own health insurance, which can range from €90 to €200 per month. Some companies may cover this cost or offer discounted rates for trainees. 5. Learning materials. While the tuition is free, you may need to purchase learning materials such as textbooks, work clothes, or tools, depending on your field of training. These costs can vary, but budgeting around €100 to €300 per year for materials should be sufficient. 6. Social contributions and taxes. As a trainee, you'll also need to pay social contributions, which include health insurance, unemployment insurance, and pension contributions. These are automatically deducted from your training salary. The amount you pay depends on your salary, but expect to contribute around 20% of your gross earnings. Taxes are also deducted, but trainees typically pay very little in income tax due to their relatively low earnings. 7. Financial support options. If your training salary isn't enough to cover your living expenses, you might be eligible for financial support. Options include Federal Training Assistance Act, a government grant or loan for students in vocational training, depending on your financial situation. Berufsausbildungsbeihilfe, a subsidy for trainees living away from home, available through the Federal Employment Agency. Housing allowance. If you're paying rent, you may be eligible for housing benefits. These support options can help ease the financial burden during your Ausbildung. 8. Additional costs. There may be some additional costs to consider, such as fees for visa applications if you're an international student, initial deposits for accommodation, or travel expenses if you need to relocate for your training. It's important to plan for these one-time costs when budgeting for your Ausbildung. In summary, while the Ausbildung itself doesn't come with tuition fees, you'll need to budget for living expenses, health insurance, and other associated costs. However, your training salary and potential financial support options can help you manage these expenses effectively. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Jobs Visa for more insights on vocational training in Germany. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.